And we are back here at the desk at the Knights of Columbus Supreme Convention, and joining us is Archbishop Joseph Kurtz, Archbishop of Louisville, also the President of the United States Bishops Conference, and thank you so much for being with us.
Kevin, so good to be with you, and Father Reed, great to be with you all here at the convention of the Knights of Columbus.
Now, if you could talk to us a little bit about your experience so far. You haven't been President, not yet a year, but what's it been like for you?
Yeah, it's been a real adventure, Kevin. As you know, the President of the Bishops Conference is really a role of service, uniting the bishops both so that we can act as one in addressing vital issues throughout the United States, and also that we can support one another. So I've enjoyed it. I have one major meeting of the bishops under my belt, and I'm getting ready for November.
You know, I was at your website for the Archdiocese of Louisville today, and I'm always thrilled to see what a great job you do as an archdiocese to communicate. And you personally, I have to commend you
thanks.
Because you've been such a great friend to us, and you're so warm. And thank you so much for your show, Conversations, because it's a great asset to us on Catholic TV.
Well, thank you for running it in Boston. We really are very grateful for that. You know, we're beginning our 6th year. Wow. It's hard to believe. Now, I know you all have been at this wonderful ministry of the media for many years, but we like conversation, and I hope we get better at it every year in engaging people, engaging the teachings of the church, and of course increasing those who are touched by it. Yeah.
Now, recently, you would just send a letter out to your brother bishops. There's so much turmoil in the world right now, and we're seeing it in the Middle East and Iraq as well. And talk about what you said to them, the importance of prayer.
Well, of course, I began by highlighting the areas that are obvious to all of us. It's pretty hard to look anywhere without seeing violence, unrest, the curtailment of religious freedom. And so I joined with my brother bishops in saying, let's call our people to pray, and let's beginning by praying ourselves. You and I know that when we pray, Christ not only touches our own hearts and maybe reveals some action, but also we believe in the power of prayer can move the hearts of others. I mean, that's the mystery of prayer. So we do begin, as always, with prayer and joining to Christ. Our Holy Father, Pope Francis, of course, has been a real emissary for peace, and in many ways I'm really following much of his lead in that endeavor. Yeah.
Here we are at the 132nd Supreme Convention, surrounded by the men, the families of the Knights of Columbus from all across the country and internationally. We're here because we love the Knights, we're very fond of them, but what is it that draws you to come here so faithfully every year?
Well, of course, the Knights of Columbus have been a gift in my family for many, many years. In Louisville and in Knoxville, where I served as bishop, they were vital for the life of the church. But I may have told you a little earlier, I have a personal reason for coming. My brother Georgie, who is older than I, had Down syndrome. In 1981, he became a first-degree knight, and in 86, a fourth-degree. Well, I really believe that through the Knights of Columbus, my brother George found his place in the church. And my family, from that time on, were the strongest supporters of the Knights of Columbus. Georgie actually was the one who sponsored me when I became a fourth-degree knight.
That's
so I just love the Knights of Columbus.
And we see all the families here, and then the Knights families gathering, and we talk about the importance of family and the extraordinary Synod of Bishops on the families coming up in October. And of course, we have the big world meeting of families coming up next year. Talk about what you're planning on in October.
Well, of course, this extraordinary meeting, the meeting of the Synod for this year, will be in preparation for the larger one next year. Kevin, we'll have the presidents of the bishops' conferences from throughout the world being part and engaged in that process. There will be some others, but it'll be primarily the bishops who are presidents of Episcopal conferences. Boy, do we need to be engaged in the life of the family, for the church to serve families. To accompany families who are in need. And you know, one of the things I hope to be able to talk about is to convey the beauty of marriage and family. Beauty is what will bring Christ to others, I think, in our own age. So I'll be disappointed if we don't have a chance to really talk about the great beauty of the family, and maybe what we're seeing here this week at the Knights, couples who themselves are authentic and really attractive witnesses.
Yeah.
We need to raise them up. So I'm excited about being in Rome for those 2 weeks.
Great.
The Synod of Bishops requires an awful lot of prep work, I'm sure, for you.
Yeah.
And also there are going to be some surprises, no doubt, with Pope Francis sitting in the middle chair. What are you doing to prepare for the Synod?
Well, of course, we had an extraordinary amount of consultation throughout the United States, and I had the benefit as the president to be able to pull together all of the consultation that brother bishops brought in. I'm doing some listening sessions also in Louisville, Father Reed. I have 5 or 6 opportunities to talk to people about some of the elements that are in the Instrumentum Laboris, or the working paper, the working document that we have in preparation. I'll also have a chance to do an intervention. 4 minutes. I mean, my gosh, you all know a lot can be accomplished in 4 minutes, but boy, I got to be prepared. And so I'm really honing down on what are the most important things to promote. Some of the things I just mentioned earlier, I think, will be in that.
Thank God you're such a young man. Hey, Archbishop, how could you ever put up with all of this?
I love it, the adventure. I'm every year getting more young at heart. That would be the best way to say that. But thank you.
We just have a little time left too, but I remember last year when we were here, we were talking about your pamphlet booklet on the blessing of the child and the womb. I know you don't have any time to write anymore, but are you thinking about that?
But we're promoting. I'm still promoting that gesture. You know, why is Pope Francis so attractive to so many people? Well, obviously his sincerity and integrity, but also his gestures. And the blessing of the child in the womb is, I believe, one of the most attractive gestures to talk about the gift of child. You know, a child's not a possession, a child's not simply a fulfillment of other people's desires, but a child is a gift from God. And that blessing, I hope, will continue to grow in the life of the Church in the United States.
Oh, thank you so much, Archbishop, for being with us.
It's a pleasure to be with you.
It was a pleasure to talk to you as always.